So let's discuss about the in the client copies itself. We have one more concept is called the client export and import. Client export and import. This is called the client transport option. In another name, client transport, export and import. Export we will use the SCC8. Import we will use the SCC7. Client export and import. What does it mean by client export? So here it's required the transport administration, means TMS configuration is required between two systems. So that is our next topic, but I will give the some overview here. Then to perform this practically, so we can once the TMS configuration is done, next topic, then that time so we can use this export import option. We can perform it here. Otherwise, that time we can perform the export and import option here. Why? Because both the systems should be in the TMS landscape here. TMS configuration should be done. So what is mean by export here? Export import also is like a so remote client copy. Same as like yeah, same as like it's a remote client copy. Export import also like a remote client copy here. So here you need to do the export. This is the source NWD. So this is the target NWQ here. Here the two systems are there here. So suppose the remote client copy, what we are doing, if you need the source data to here, then we will log into the target client, then we will establish the RFC destination, then we will pull the data from via RFC destinations to the your target system here. This is what we are doing here, right? So at the same time, that is called the remote client copy between two systems, between two clients to copying the data from one client to another client calls the remote client copy. So export import method also it's same as like remote client copy, but it's a both the intention is copying the data to the target system here. But when we have to use this export import method means the data size is very huge. It's a more than 1 TB data, 2 TB data. So that time we can use the client export and import methods. Client export and import methods we can use it. So what does it mean by export here? So whenever you before export import, both the systems are in the TMS landscape. Both the systems are should be configured in the TMS landscape here. TMS landscape means STMS configuration. We have to do it. That is our next topic. So here both the systems should be in the STMS landscape here, right? So STMS landscape. Then all systems will share the either source system or target system. Some other system will share the OS level common trans directory. One common trans directory. It will share the one common trans directory. It will share it here. It will share the one common trans directory here. So export means log into the source system. Then you can use you can log into the source system here. Just use the transaction code here SCC8 is the transaction code for the export. Then data will be exported to the trans directory. The co-files or data files will be created. You will come to know in the transport administration. But what is it mean by exact here? Then once it is exported, then we can do the import to the here in the target system here. Target system here. So that is called the SCC7 transaction code here. SCC7 transaction code here, right? Export and import method here. So here, once you completely export is done, then you have to do the import option here. So this is not the direct transfer same as like SCC9. So in the SCC9, in the remote client copy, we are using the direct transfer, right? Both are sending the data to the target client itself, target system. Then what is the advantages of having the export and import method or than remote client copy? Remote client copy is the direct transfer. If the data, as per SAP recommendation, if the data size is very huge, like very huge means it's about like example 1 TB, 1.5 TB, 2 TB, so 19 TB, 17 TB database also available. So that time, instead of you using the remote client copy, you can use the export and import method. So this is the safer approach. Why? Because it's a longer client copy. It's a longer client copy. So which means data size is suppose like 2 terabyte. Okay. So and all data size is 2 terabyte. If you are transferring from here to here, in case in middle, if the 90% or 99% the client copy got cancelled, right? If there is a lock will be happened, right? There is a lock. Again, you need to reinitiate it. So all those things will be created. That is the time taking like for the critical process. But when you do the export import procedure, you are exporting to the nearest to the file system. Then once export is done, then you are importing here. In case of client copy got cancelled, while importing here, then you have the data already in the middle, right? Here you can pick up and you can import to the here. Again, you need to touch the source system here. With remote client copy, again you have to touch the source system. Again, you have to initiate the process, some performance. So all those things we have to consider it here, right? So, and also one more use case is when we have to use the export import method, whenever we don't have the both systems are in the so different miles. Like I can say, so any network issues or less bandwidth we have, so that time we can go for the export import method. So export import methods here. So, but majority of the use case is data transfer. If the data transfer data size is very high, then in this case we can use the export and import method here. How to do this one? So we have to log into the source system. We have to export it here. For importing, we have to log into the target system. We have to use the transaction code. We have to import it here. So let me go to the here. Suppose I am in the 001 client. All right. Let's go to the SCC8. Then select the profile. Select the profile here. Suppose any one of the profile. Then select the system here. Select the system here. Select the system here. So suppose like I think we don't have quality. So what I can do? Okay, let me select say, but it won't export. Why? Because that's why we did the TMS configuration and transport target. We have to configure it here. Okay, let me select the same system here for now. So same system. I will import it here. Okay, just you can schedule as a background job. Same. It will be exported. It will create the files. So there are the three requests. Three files are getting created actually. Transport files here. One is the SID KO. KO means cross client data. Cross client data. And KT means the transport request naming convention, which three files will be created here. Three files will be created at OS level here. OS level only one file, but it will generate the three files here. One is the SID KO. SID KT. SID KX. After that, number will be generated. KO means cross client. KT means client specific. KX means client specific text. Client specific text here. So client specific text. So then these three files will be created, right? Before that, before I just go ahead here, let me check the trans directory here. Where is this trans directory here? Trans directory. So here it will generate the co files and the data files in the trans directory. This is the one of the transport directory. Whenever you are creating the transport management system TMS configuration, so this file system will be updated. So here co files and data files will be created. Here you can see the 7 items. There is a one more request is here, 26 request number, profile and data file here. So here, whenever you do the export option, see here background job successfully scheduled. Now data is getting exported to the file system here. In this location, data is getting exported here. Data is getting exported here. So if you see it here, SEC3, SEC3, so SEC3 exports, then see here it is getting processed. It is getting processed here. It is getting processed here. It is getting processed here, right? So it is getting processed here. See here. Once it is done, there is a file will be created here. There is a file. I think one file is created here, right? So yeah, you can see the request number 23, right? 23. Then so there is a 23 KT 00023 request number. This will change it, but the naming convention will be common here. RT data file always starts with the R. Co-files always starts with the K, 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 K23, KT, right? So this is the co-files and data files will be created. Co-files are the control files, but data files are the actual data resides in this data here. That's why you can see the size is getting increased. The size is getting increased here. The size is getting increased. So you can see the size here. Let me check here. Then it is done. Export is done here. Export is done here. So now you can just do export is done, right? Export did. Where it is exported? Your file system level, it got exported. File system level, it got exported here. File system level, it got exported here, right? So then file system level, it got exported. Then what we have to do? Now we have to do the import option here. Log into the SCC7. SCC7. So which means you can log into the SCC7. So maybe different client or another system you can log in. Okay. So let me log into the, so here I am using the same. Okay. Because TMS configuration, we need to review it. But for now, I am using the same log into the target client. Okay. So then use the SCC7 for import option, right? So then the request came automatically here, which is the profile, this one. What is the exported system? Same system there. Then you can just import. You can just import. Then it will be imported here. Then import is running. So this is also transferring the data to the target client, right? Whether I can use this one, yeah, you can use it. But so I can either you can use the remote client copy or you can use the export and import option here. Export, import. Sir, how can I know the size? You told that size is, if the size is more than 1 TB, or so how to check this one? What are the precaution actions we have to take it out here? What are the things we need to consider? What are the things we need to check it out? We discussed about the how to login procedures. Then we discussed, but there is a, as per the best practice or standard, first of all, pre-steps like we need to check the space. We need to check the space, but without checking the client size, without analyze the size of the client, then how can we export it? How can we import it? So why? Because here you have the 2 GB or 100 GB, then same data size should be available here itself, right? Then in this case, for any client copy, either local client copy or remote client copy or export import methods, so we have to check the free space, like space, we have to check it out. Space, we have to check. So both the systems, we have to check the space here. So to check the space, we need to log into the system. We need to log into the system in SA38, where the programs and reports we will execute it, right? We discussed during the background administration, the normally programs or reports execution, we have to do it from the SA38 or SE38, we have to do it here, right? Here, there is a one report which will evaluate the size of the source client here. Let's go to the RS, the space check, RS space check. Here, this will determine the size of the client here, size of the client here. It will give the size of the client here. So here, what we have to do for all that, you have the large tables or all the tables, just pull it out. If you have the table name, suppose like only one table you want to pull it. Just an example. If you star, all the tables will be calculated. If you give only one, then let's see, So here only required KB is the 10 KB is required. For this table, we have the required 10 KB is there here. Then suppose same example, if you give the star, right, then this will take a longer time and it will give the results like how much space we required here. So right now it will take very longer time now in the system here. So how much space we require. Same way, we can check in the target side. So target DB size and everything, we can check it out whether whatever the MB, GBs it is showing, same should be free. Then only the data will be inserted into the target system here, right? Data will be inserted into the target system here. So here it's giving the error. We have to provide the maybe backend or we can run it. Schedule as a background job. Why? Because in this kind of lengthy programs, we have to use the background jobs here. Background jobs, we can use it here. Background jobs, immediately we schedule it. So then, right, it will run the program in the backend. So it will complete it here. It will complete it here. Oh, lot of programs are running in the system. Few jobs are getting cancelled. So this is running. So once it is completed, it will give the results here. So how much space we required and all those information, it will give the information here. It will provide the information in the system here. Okay. So this is the one of the important prerequisite activity to check the space, RS space check. So there is a one more report, RS size check also, but that is not available in the latest versions here. RS size, RS size, RS size, and RS size. Yeah, that is not available. Only RS space check report is available. You run it, it will give the clear information, how much space you required to copy the data. Same space R should be required in your target client or target system. Then we can perform the, once we have the space, then we can perform the data import options. We can use it here, right? So that is the here. For if you want to talk about the individually, then local client copy, just only space check is required. Then, but remote client copy, for remote client copy, we need to establish the RFC destination. Then, so then space should be required. Obviously, we need the new client also required, client creation, logical system, these and all the things. Obviously, any client copies that is required. For export import also, the STMS configuration is required for here. For client export import, file client export and import, STMS configuration is required. Then, so system should be added in the transport group of the STMS. Then we can perform the client export and import. So we have the topic like STMS, that is the one the client administration is completed. We have the topic like, so this one, STMS concept. So that time, what during the configuration time, configuration is done, we can just again, we can revert, we can go back to the same topic. We can do the these options here. We can go and we can practice these options again. Okay. So don't need to worry. We will do it this one as well. So yeah, apart from that, there is a one more transaction code is called the SEC5. So it's a very dangerous transaction code that is called the client deletion. So this is a very dangerous activity. If you want to delete any client here, suppose you want to clean up the client, so then we can just do the client delete in the backend. So we run in the dialog mode, it will take longer time. Just you can select it. So just you can delete it here. If you delete it, all the data will be gone. All the data gone. Whatever the data is there, all gone. So that's why, as I mentioned, it's a very dangerous transaction code. Until in your real time also, when you are working, so until you have the clear evidence, like clear green signal to delete the client data, just you can, then once you have the approval in place, then you can go ahead and delete the client here. So using the SEC5 here. So if I list all the transaction codes in one client administration related transaction codes, so in one screen overview, so STC4, client creation we discussed. Then, so sale or BDLS for the logical system creations. Then, then SCCL local client copy, SCC9 remote client copy, SCC8 the client export, then SCC7, then client import. So then SCC3, so client copy logs checking, whether logs, SCC5, client deletion. Maybe I can also add the SCC1, then client transport within the system between two clients, client transport. We can use this one. These are the client administration related transaction codes here. So local client copy, you will get the L. All are starts with the SCC. L means local client copy. So R9 means remote client copy. R, A, B, C, D, 1, 2, 3, 4, R9, right? Export, E. E is simply remembering purpose. So if you cut 8 into the vertically or horizontally, you will get the E, right? So E. Then export. I, client import, which means 7 is the import, I7, right? I7, R9, I7 form, right? So R in the third letter, we will write I as a 7, right? Then like that, just my remembering purpose, I will remember like this. But if you want to do follow the same, you can follow the same here. Okay, this is about the client administration here, right? So the next topic which we are going to discuss about the transport management system, TMS configuration. I think before I go for the TMS configuration, let's discuss about the file systems. File system. I think that time is not enough. Okay. So Monday I will discuss about the file system structure. File system structure here. Just to give you the overview here, we have the file system. Whenever you install the SAP here, you will get the file systems, folders and files and everything. What about this one? So we have to start the troubleshooting from in this file systems itself only. So that we will discuss on the Monday, that in one class. Then immediately we will discuss transport administration. Okay. Any questions, anyone?